The board would like to welcome those in attendance today and online to the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for July 28th, 2022. Can I get a roll call, please? Here.
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 Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Approval of minutes of the meeting of July 14th, 2022 and July 21, 2022.
I make a motion to approve those minutes.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 5, bid opening, demolition, 6812 Idaho Avenue Garage, 19 through 21 Mason Street Garage, 6724 Woodmark Garage, and 6219 Holman Avenue. Okay. 1 and 2.
2.
1 and 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
First bid will be from JM Industrial Services, Hammond, Indiana. This is just going to be the bid price, right? Just the bid price, right? Okay. JM Industrial Services, their bid price is $40,200. All 4 properties are listed. $40,200. Second bid is from Acton Incorporated, East Chicago, Indiana. Okay, Acton Contracting LLC's bid price is $33,210 for all 4 properties. $33,210. And I believe, with no more bids in the pouch, that concludes the bid openings. Mr. Smith and Mr. Kearney, you want these referred to?
Inspections, please.
Okay.
Okay. I will make a motion then to forward the 2 bids to inspections for review.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Matters from department heads and/or their representatives? None. Okay. Correspondence, item A. Let's get rid of this. Correspondence received from City Engineer Dean Button recommending the sole bid that was received for the state line closures from Gary Up Construction in the amount of $758,500 be rejected due to it being 70% higher than the engineer's opinion of cost, and the Capital Improvements Board does not have the funds available to complete at this time. Mr. Button.
Pretty self-explanatory, but asked if you approve the recommendation.
Okay.
Okay. I will then make a motion to approve Mr. Button's recommendation.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item B. Correspondence received from 3rd District Councilman Barry Tyler Jr. requesting $25,000 of gaming funds be allocated for the Park Gaming Fund 2449 submitted for approval. The request has been signed by the councilman, the controller, as well as the mayor.
I will then make a motion to approve Councilman Tyler's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ooh, item C.
Here we go.
Item C. Correspondence received from Chief of Police William Short recommending the following applicants be appointed as probationer members of the Hammond Police Department to serve their 1-year probationary period effective July 21st, 2022. Eric Banvich, Nicholas Moore, Joseph Ivazich, Ariel Alvarez Ortega, Peter Krikobovich, Trayvon McCullough, Alexander Montano, Shane McCormick, Anthony Jaranovich, and Tyler Trachtenfels. Additionally, correspondence received from Our Lady of, can somebody help me with this one? the Chestachova Shrine, requesting police assistance with their annual Marion Bike Pilgrimage to be held on Saturday, September 10th, with the attached route. And Mr. Klein, you guys assist?
Yes, we're good with that, sir. We just want to forward that to be much faster.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Okay, I will make a motion then to approve Chief Short's request and also forward the information necessary to Don Kalina.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence received from Fire Chief Jeffrey Smith recommending that Engineer Wilbur Carney Jr. be promoted to the rank of Captain and Private Matthew Oldenburg be promoted to the rank of Engineer, retroactive to July 10th, 2022, submitted for approval.
Make a motion to approve Chief Smith's request.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item E, correspondence received from Ron Novak requesting approval for the proposed license agreement renewal with Cambridge Walnut Partners to perform additional environmental sampling at the property located at 428 173rd Street and requesting permission to work in the right-of-way at the same location. Mr. Novak.
This is a fourth year for granting them access. 428 170th Street was essentially first a gas station, then a 7-Eleven, and then a dry cleaners, and each has contributed, except the 7-Eleven, to contamination on the property. The wells that they put in previously were basically hand augered. They are now going to be putting in wells that are actually monitoring wells that meet state standards in order to have data available. Only one of the 5 wells is on city property, and it's in the alley in a right-of-way, and it's necessary in order to comply with IDEM, so I recommend approval.
Does, there's a business in there now, I believe, Hapkido or something? They're going to be
There's
made
supposed to
aware
be a
of all this?
karate school in there.
Yeah, right.
What we're concerned about is making sure that vapor intrusion does not get into the building, so we're waiting for the report on that before we would turn that over to zoning.
Okay, okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve Mr. Novak's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item F, correspondence received from Hammond Sanitary District requesting permission to close the street at 143rd and Holman to Gosling and Holman for a sewer repair on August 8, 2022 for approximately 8 hours.
Been working with the sanitary district on this. They have a settlement that's occurring. They'd like to make the repair. I've coordinated this with the other work we're doing in the area. Seems like an appropriate time to make the repair, and we'd ask for your approval of that closure.
Okay, then I will make a motion then to approve the sanitary district's request.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item G, correspondence received from Councilman Barry Tyler Jr. requesting permission to close off Eaton Street at the Erie Street Alley for a back-to-school giveaway from the School City of Hammond on August 3rd, 2022, from 11 p.m. to 3 p.m. That's just right over here by the Y. Okay. Yeah, it's not a problem because they can still get into the Y.
Yeah, we donated to it too.
Okay.
Yeah. You good?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to approve Councilman Tyler's request.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item H, correspondence received from Russell Moore requesting permission for a street closure and requesting barricades on the 3700 block of Higgins Park South Street on August 6, 2022, from 12 p.m. until 10 p.m. for a wedding with approval of the neighbors. Wow. So we're acted by Moore, right? Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah, there's not many there, so.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I think they need
Okay.
barricades on that. Okay.
Forward to
Public Works.
Yeah.
Public Works,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I'm going to make a motion to approve Russell Moore's request and also forward it to Public Works for the barricades.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just to note that that's also man-right night, so if public works runs out of their shade, we can send them over there.
Thanks,
No,
Donnie.
Thanks, Don. Item I, correspondence received from Sylvia Gibbs requesting permission to block Tapper from Highland to Lyons on September 3rd, 2022, from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. for the 5K Bird Walk for Recovery Incorporated.
Make a motion to approve Ms. Gibbs' request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item J, correspondence received from Melissa Monastere requesting permission to place a dumpster in front of her home at 268 Locust Street from July 29th, 2022 through August 5th, 2022. I mean, it's right, 268 Locust, I think it's got to be right on the corner of that and Lyman.
That's a corner property, as
Yeah.
long as she doesn't obstruct the viewpoint for Lyman.
You're talking about somebody's coming up to the stop sign, looking left and right there on Lyman, is that what you're?
There is not a stop sign at that intersection other than at the Locust intersection. It's a
Right.
one-way stop. So I know that before people have had issues with when they come off of Locust, that they cannot see. So I've had dealt with an issue where individuals come from Locust Street onto Lyman, and
Right.
they have an issue where they're not able to see cross-traffic.
Yeah.
So as long as it doesn't encroach onto the intersection, it should be fine.
Wow, there are small lots there too, you know?
I'm trying to figure out how.
It's a small street as well.
That's why I'm wondering.
No, it
how-
is, I mean, to totally put it in front of the house,
That's why I'm wondering if it's even possible not to do what you're saying it can't do.
And
Not much room there.
no, there's not, and if they were to place the dumpster on the parkway or even onto their property, they have bushes and they just demolished their front walkway. The wooden steps that had a ramp on it, they just demolished that too. So I don't know if there's gonna be any particular space on the front of the property that isn't on the street for the dumpster.
That narrow front yard. That's-
it is, I mean, it'd probably be, if they got it off the street, it'd be sitting on a sidewalk,
What side line
probably.
is that on?
It would be on, it would be
No,
on
it's
the,
between Lyman and Holman,
it's on
Line
the,
home, right?
yeah, yeah.
What about on the east side, on the Lyman side, between the house and Lyman?
along Lyman, right there, they do have bushes, so if they're fine with, you know, driving over the bushes to drop off the dumpster, that would be the only thing they have.
Who owns that empty lot, the east, right on Lyman, that big empty lot? Is that ours or is that like hers? That's the north side. It's just across the street, or is she next door?
So that would be,
Southwest corner.
Oh, that-
yeah,
Yeah, she's on the corner, she's on the
alley,
corner.
Right against the alley.
See, my thought, Kevin, it's not a perfect situation, but it's a short time, and there's not a lot of traffic on that. There's not a lot of traffic there.
They could possibly go partially on the parkway on the street.
Yeah, so we're saying no way in the front yard, is what we're saying. It's just the trees are there and.
Visually, I can't think of a way, and we mean,
It's a privately owned lot.
There are trees in the parkway?
yes, one.
There are.
So if they were to. they
On
would have-
Locust?
Yes.
Can I approach?
They only want it for August 5th.
Yeah, just 1 week.
I mean, I would say as long as we cone it off, I hate to have somebody, you know, like, you could have golf course or somebody with a cone.
Where was Locust at?
Just across the sidewalk.
Oh, okay. 268's got to be on the south side, right?
Yes, 268 is the south side
It's
of
got to be
Locust.
on the south side. Yeah, you're on the, no, I get it, it's fine.
So
You're on the
the
north side.
lot
Yeah, yeah,
that is open is on the north side, and it's
Oh,
across.
so there's a house here as well? No, it's fine, no, you don't need to do that, I can see that.
yeah.
So it's this one here?
But it's across the street.
I think 268's it's got to be the last house, man. I lived at 258 for a while, it was right there, one of them apartment buildings, so.
Well, I kind of agree with Kevin. If they cone it off and there's.
In the
as
front,
long as
right? On
cars-
Locust, right?
Yeah, and as long as cars can
Okay.
get by, I'm okay with
I'll
it.
go knock
Yeah, I
on
mean,
it.
it
I'll
looks
go-
like there's a little room on.
I'll go
I know
knock
it's
on
not
the
much,
door.
but
I'll
it'd
knock
be
on
in
the door.
park. But if we cone it off, it's just the corner, and you could have somebody that's riding their bike come around, you know,
Yeah.
should just make sure.
Yeah.
You good then?
Yeah.
And if they own, they have to remove it on this bill. It's gotta get out.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to approve Ms. Monastery's request. However, I'm going to ask that it be coned off, make sure traffic can get around it, and also that it must be removed by August 5th.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye. I'll stop by after.
And then I don't know, Donnie or who would you call them?
Okay, yeah, I'll stop.
Well, we'll talk to Donnie, I'll make sure he does it.
Okay. Thank you. Item K, correspondence received from Trina Lee Schultz, 904 Cherry Street, requesting permission for a street closure on Rhodey Street from Cherry Street to the alley on August 13th, 2022, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. for a baby shower with neighbor signatures. Oh, there's only one neighbor.
Well, I feel like she's
You
had
want to be
stuff there
outside?
before, and
Yeah,
we've
you want to
never-
be outside?
Never had a problem, so.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion then to approve Ms. Schultz's request.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye?
Aye. Item L, correspondence received from John Klebanowski, Axis Architecture and Interiors, recommends that the submitted bids from Hassey Construction Company, Power and Sons Construction Company, and Gary Up Construction Company for the Hammond Fire Station Number 2 project be rejected, as they do not align with the budget requirements established by the city of Hammond. Mr. Butts.
Just ask that you approve the architect's recommendation, please.
Okay.
Make a motion then to approve Axis Architecture's request, or recommendation, sorry.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence received requesting a rental registration hearing.
Make a motion to set that hearing to August 11th, 2022.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye?
Aye. Matters from board members?
No, sir.
Nobody seeking to be ostentatious this morning?
Very ostentatious in the way you're handling this meeting. I'll tell you that.
Didn't get the memo.
Should have put him in the middle.
New business. Item A, emergency demolition 51 Webb. For a tree?
Yes, sir. Let me show the board some pictures real quick, just so you get what's going on. Is anyone here from AAA Group Investors, Inc.? AAA Group Investors, Inc. from Cherryville or from Highland? The registered agent is Tom Witherow, who I know, but let me show the board what's going on here.
Oh, this is different than.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Oh, we got some.
Okay. So, there's
Fireworks.
concern that this tree could
Right?
fall.
Tree, yeah,
And Mr. Kearney was able to get a emergency quote.
okay.
Just so the board's aware, we kind of went parallel tracks here. We did an emergency notice to repair or remove the tree, basically is what the notice said. That was posted, by the way, last Friday. I've got pictures of the postings, so thank you to the inspections department, Nick and Kelly and Rich for that. We also had, I think it was either Nick or Rich, did the pink as well, the 10-day abatement, just because we thought it'd be best to just do both ways and cover ourselves. So Mr. Kearney was able to get a quote from Brian's Tree Service, which was the only quoter that came back with a number for him. As you all know, under the Unsafe Building Act 36799, Mr. Kearney does have the authority to move forward without notice on an emergency basis. So, but we're giving the board the information. It's $950. He's going to move forward with the removal of the tree immediately. to secure the safety of property and persons who may be traveling near that tree, because it's pretty big and it's pretty dangerous, so.
Okay, I will make a motion then to approve the emergency demolition of a tree at 51 Webb.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, order to rescind and release order to demolish property at 1317 Michigan Street, submitted for approval.
Yes, good news, that was done. They finished up the rehab and request the order to rescind.
Nice.
Okay, I'll make a motion then to approve the order to rescind for 1317 Michigan.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, boy. Right-of-way permit submitted for approval from the engineering department. I already like the first one already.
Pardon me?
I like the first one already, 173rd Street in Lyman.
Correct. That's approximately 2 weeks. What they're going to end up doing is actually start getting prepped up for the tracks,
Right.
which the tracks are going to come in.
Is this a total closure?
It would be a total closure with a detour route to Calumet, Holman, 65th.
And into Munster?
Pardon me?
And then into Munster?
No. It'll go 73rd to Holman.
Oh, so you can still get across 173rd Street while they're doing this?
No, they're just going to have to go to 73rd. If they go on to the other side of 73rd, go up Holman, 65th, back down.
Okay, Margraff's going to have to go down Holman to Broadmoor.
That's you.
Okay.
Margraff doesn't
I just
like
want
it
to
either.
know, I just want to know. It's a
Approximately
total
2 weeks.
closure, that's all I want to know.
2 weeks, they'll be done quickly.
Okay,
Yeah.
how about the others?
The other ones, south of Goslin, west of Sheffield, that particular area over there, there's 3 streets that we still own. It's in the process of being vacated for the train. So I requested them to extend their closures. It's been closed for a while.
And again, obviously, proper signage and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff's in place,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely. They're driving pile, putting up their piers for the bridge and so forth, so forth.
Yeah, okay.
Another one is along Goslin Street, that's fiber optics, but they're not boring. They're gonna run it through cable ducts and also up on the line, so that shouldn't have an effect on anything.
Nice, okay, I like it.
And just heads up, they're starting a trucking operation to get rid of some of the contaminated soils by 73rd and Lyman. That particular area, they're stripping approximately 2 feet off, taking it to special landfill, and that started today.
So that's going to be going along, that's going to be happening at the same time, this closures?
Right, but
Well,
they
that's
will-
good, though.
They'll
That's
be
good.
getting around and so forth.
Yeah.
And this is after the WAM, right, so we shouldn't have any issues with that.
Okay.
So I would recommend approval.
Okay, good?
Yeah.
Make them,
You're like
Thank
getting
you.
out of, like getting out of New York, man. You
for that
can't get
one,
out.
yeah. I will make a motion to approve the right-of-way permits.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Garage sale permit submitted for approval.
I'll make a
Good,
motion.
good, good?
Yep. Make a motion to approve the garage sale permits.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, page 3. Item 10, old business. Letter A, status, 2523 New York Avenue, removal shed request.
Yes,
Mr. Pustek, he's here.
Mr. Pustek's here, I know that, so he's welcome to come up. I just want to set the record. Mr. Pustek came a couple weeks ago, I want to say 2, maybe 3, requesting that we take a look at his request to place a shed in the right-of-way. We've met with Mr. Button, our city engineer, Mr. Poland, our city planner, and there seems to be some hesitancy about granting the request and some concern about it being in the right-of-way. So I'm going to ask Brian Poland, our city planner, to come up and just discuss this a little bit with the board as to, his thought about this request.
Based on my understanding of the situation, the request is for what is described as a movable structure. It has been said that this is an 8 by 10 shed, which is a pretty large shed. And based on our experience, what we see when we have people coming in for shed requests, an 8 by 10 is not really movable. My understanding is it's stated that it comes with wheels. Our experience has been when these prefabricated sheds come from a variety of companies and delivered to a site, they probably do come by wheels, but those wheels are not permanently attached, and the deliverer takes the wheels away, so therefore it would be sitting on the ground. The location of this is right at the edge of the pavement, between the edge of the pavement and the sidewalk and the driveway. This would be somewhat of a visual impairment for someone exiting the garage that's there. And based on some of the right of encroachments that we've had over the last couple of years, this is kind of out of character from what we've seen. And I would be concerned that this would not be an appropriate right of encroachment for this area.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have anything you wanted to add? So that's, sorry. So based on the internal review of the request, the city's position is to request the board to deny the request. I want to make sure that Mr. Pustek has an opportunity, if he'd like to come up and, say anything to the board, of course. But it's up to Mr. Pustek.
Sounds like it doesn't matter what I say, so I was just waiting for a decision.
Okay.
2 months, it's kind of sad.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to deny the request for 2523 New York Avenue.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, 6547 Madison, garage.
So this garage is placed on the demo list for the appearance of the roof. It has many exposed holes on the roof, the decking, as well as the fascia. I can provide the photos. The individual stated to Inspector Luger that they do plan on repairing the shed or the garage, but there has been no indication of what time frame that would take.
So, Jordan, is the recommendation that the board that we move forward with that on?
Yes, I would recommend that we move forward with the order to demolish.
So this is already in the system for demo?
It's a good question. I don't have a file on it.
Okay.
I haven't included it on my file, so I didn't catch this. Do you know if it's been ordered?
I submitted the order.
Okay, I need to check. So we set this over for status for next week. We'll get the board the information it needs as to what the status is of that property.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I will make a motion to set 6547 Madison Garage over for status to August 4th, 2022.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item C, stop sign at Holman and Hewen. Button.
Exhibit to provide to the board, if I may, please, before I...
Oh.
I'd like to thank Hammond Police Department for pulling together the crash reports for Holman Avenue. They provided a number of crash reports, and the intersection in question Holman Avenue at Hewen had 19 crashes in the last 5 years. Seems like 19's a lot, but when you think about it, it's, less than 4 a year. So on the grand scheme of things, I don't believe that this is a matter in which should be considered an alarm. But during my review, so we looked at pretty much the primary factor of the reason for the cause of the crash, and I've sort of sorted those by the primary factor, the contributing factor. I would like to note that of all of the crashes shown here, 3 of them occurred at a time that children may have been present for school. So there are 3 separate occurrences for that. If you want the details on that, I can certainly provide that. I would focus your attention on the failure to yield because that seems to be the predominant concern that I would have in this case. And to me, really, it is the westbound vehicle on Hewen colliding with the northbound vehicle on Holman Avenue. So the westbound vehicle is the vehicle at fault predominantly in 3 of these 19 cases. And I believe that that's a sight distance problem, right? The driver of the vehicle that caused the crash may have a problem with being able to see the approaching car from the southbound side. I don't believe that's true on the 3 crashes that occurred from the westbound vehicle, southbound Holman Avenue crashes. There's plenty of sight distance from that direction, but there could be limited sight distance. But none of these relate to needing to have a stop sign, in my opinion, at Holman Avenue, right? It's stop controlled on Hewen. It's not stop controlled on Holman. Within 1 block to the south, there's a traffic signal controlled intersection. So in my opinion, the solution to this intersection is not to provide a stop sign at this location, but I would like to make improvements with striping and other vehicle protections and particularly I'm thinking bump outs to shorten the crosswalk, high visibility crosswalk markings, but not a stop sign in this case. So I would like to pursue moving forward with an interim solution on that issue, but I would definitely not recommend a stop sign at this intersection.
When it says contributing factor, what is that?
It's just a note of mine to say, is it possible that the condition contributes to needing a stop sign, right?
This is your opinion, the contributing factor?
Right.
So sometimes on the report it says contributing factor.
This is just my opinion that these 16 crashes are not a result of having a stop sign. Truly, all of them, because of the 3 that I list, I didn't make a final conclusion. The 3 that I'm concerned about, westbound crash cause to northbound Holman, that I'm not entirely prepared to make a determination whether that is a condition that would require a stop sign, but I believe that it does lead to improving the intersection through pavement markings. So I don't draw a conclusion there, but my feeling is that these accidents, these crashes, are not contributing to intersection improvement in this case.
Is there something that we could do prior to the school starting to maybe, well, I mean, I don't know if kids are crossing there, though.
They do cross. There's a crossing guard that attends this intersection.
Oh, I got you.
And I think that has a lot to do with why things are more visible, that there were potentially 3 times. Well, one of these was about 10 o'clock in the morning, so that's really sort of on a school day. It was really sort of iffy whether a child would have even been there when that crash occurred.
I'm just kind of wondering, I'm sorry, just so I understand.
Sure.
So when I see disregard signal sign, I assume that is either eastbound or westbound on Hume. And if they crash into somebody on Homan.
They disregarded the regulatory sign,
Correct,
which
which would be
means
the stop
they
sign.
drove through the Hewen stop sign and drove into Homan Avenue.
And so I guess what I'm wondering is, you said no on contributing factor on that. If there was not proponent or opponent of the sign, I'm just trying to get through the data here. If there was a stop sign on Homan at that spot, wouldn't there then be a potential where that crash wouldn't occur because the car would have had to slow down for the stops if somebody flew through? I guess that's what I'm trying to, or is
So
that not how the analysis goes?
the potential is there, but my concern is that there is more of a potential for the driver on Homan Avenue to disregard that regulatory sign because it's not, in my opinion, warranted, right? So the driver's behavior is, if I roll up to a stop sign and there's no one at the cross street and I'm on the main line, the primary arterial, and there's no one there, I'm just going to roll through it. I'm just going to roll. So I'm disregarding that stop sign much more frequently than the incident where the cross street is disregarding the stop sign and rolling through the intersection. Because
Has there been any look at, and I don't know if this again may be too costly to do so, but has there been any thought about getting rid of that middle lane?
absolutely, that should absolutely be part of this evaluation. As council refers to the north of 143rd, 42nd at least, we have a section where there's one lane in each direction and a bike lane and a parking lane in each direction. That would potentially create less of a visibility for the westbound driver at Hewen and the southbound car traveling on Homan, because he would have less sight distance coming from that direction, because the lane would now not be closer to the curb, it'd be more at the center line. So that could cause those crashes that are westbound Hewen caused to southbound Homan a problem. But I think in the end, the pavement markings and the realignment of the roadway is a very good idea for this segment.
It seems to me, and I guess just to follow my thought on that, is that when it's a one lane in each direction versus that middle lane, like right now when I go on that area, I was just trying to pay attention last couple times I've driven down there, you feel like you can go faster because there's that middle lane, there's more space, right? And with it going one lane in each direction, I think we've learned from at least Homan between 173rd and 165th, people are now traveling slower on that street, not everyone, but when there's, you tend to get behind somebody and you're going a little bit slower because it's just one lane to travel. So that may be another solution, or at least I'm sure it needs to be.
I think it needs to be added to it, and the councilman has asked repeatedly for change in pavement markings to accommodate a bike lane in each direction on that segment of Homan. And we support that.
Is this something you will continue to converse with the councilman? Okay.
Yeah, there's still a process to move forward, but councilman came to this board and pleaded for a stop sign to be put at this location. We received the crash reports from PD, and we did an evaluation, and this is sort of my conclusion. The councilman always has the right to prepare an ordinance to put a stop sign at this location.
Okay.
If that's what he chooses to do. I do need to coordinate also with the chief of staff, because we had a meeting, chief of staff, myself, and the councilman all talked about this subject, and so there's some follow-up that needs to happen there. But I wanted to give the board a report. It's certainly not completed, but I had information that I could provide to you today to sort of give you an update on where we stand.
I'd request that the board forward the report to chief of staff and to Councilman Kowalski for their review, and up to Dean if he wants to set this for another status, or if this kind of concludes his analysis.
It does not. I need to put a narrative together for this report. So if I could have 2 weeks for status, I'll prepare a narrative to go along with this table so that it's clear to anyone that reads it what my recommendations are.
Just speaking from the police departments, the middle lane is an issue because what happens is people are going too slow for some people. They go around, they look back at the guy that's going too slow, and they're not paying attention to who's going east and west. So that's one issue. The other issue is that, in my opinion, if you're going to have a stop sign, Hewen is not the right place for it. It's too close to the red light. It should be further north. But, I mean, again, that's just my opinion. So whatever you decide to do, I just think Hewen, a stop sign there is not the right place. That's just my opinion, so.
We good?
Yep. I will then make a motion to deny the request at this point. Am I denying the request?
Set for status, 2 weeks.
Okay, so how far out? 2 weeks?
Okay.
August 11th?
A couple weeks, and let me get the report, you know, a memo written to go along with this.
You want to go August 11th or August 18th?
It's 2 weeks out, I'm sorry.
August 11th is 2 weeks.
That's fine.
Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to set this matter for status to August 11th, 2022.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Button. Item D, 4905 Linden Street.
This is Mr. Taylor. Oh, there he is. Got some significant progress. This is great news. Thank you, Darren, for moving along on this after our long, tortured journey here. So we want to set it for status for 60 days, and we hope Mr. Taylor will utilize the rest of the summer to complete this project of his.
60 days, so September 29th?
Good.
Okay, I make a
Well, you know what, I think we've got a bunch of stuff set for that. Could we go the next week?
October 6th?
Sure. Is that good?
Yeah.
October 6th.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to set this for status to October 6th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 1152 Roosevelt Street.
Yes, so this was up, I believe, in May, and
Last time we had review, we had
Yeah.
talked about dismissing and resubmitting.
yeah, so we did a little analysis. I'm glad Rich is here as well. Is this in your district, Rich?
Yes, it is.
Is it? Wow, okay, didn't know that.
Yeah, we're right off the,
Oh, that part, okay, got it. I thought for some reason it was up north. Anyway, Rich is correct. Last time we were here, which was May 26th, we needed to do a little bit of an analysis on whether or not our current demolition order was complete, in the sense that for some reason there's actually 3 parcels on this property, and we didn't notify each parcel owner. So we need to basically restart this. I've let Mr. Kearney know. I'm now letting, I guess, Rich know, Mr. Castro know. So this will be restarted with a new demo in the near future, as soon as we get title work on the other 2 lots. Okay. But we're moving forward. All right.
So,
No action by the
no
board?
action.
Nope.
No action. No action. Okay. Item 11, rental registration hearings, 910 Carroll Street. Cynthia Rocio?
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
So we have a single-family home rental property. The last time it was registered was in 2020. RHI Preferred Investments LLC took over ownership November 5th of 2021. So we were here for 21 and 22. As typically new owners have 30 days from the date of purchase to register the property, which would fell into the date of December 5th. Typically, if they were first in December, then they would have just registered it that following January 1st. So but I will let Ms. explain her.
So both companies are mine, RHI Preferred Investments and NWI Quality Properties. So it just got quick claim to NWI Quality Properties. So when I was in the process of refinancing and getting a quick claim, the bank told me to go ahead and make the lease for, under NWI Quality Properties. So we were gonna have the closing, no later than June 29th or the 30th, but due to funding with the title
And
company.
this is 2020 we're talking, or
No,
2021?
No, 2022.
Okay, yeah, because I have it, you were the owner of both properties, Lake County Assessor.
Yeah.
Still has the property under RHI
Yeah.
as of November 5th of 21.
RHI purchased it in November 2021.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we did the rehab, and then it just got leased in May. June.
Okay.
If the property wasn't occupied by a tenant, then we could accept the affidavit for 21, and then she can register it for 22.
Would someone been in there at the end of the year in 21?
Yeah, the tenant moved in June 1st, and then like, it got quick claim July 1st.
I got you.
So then it is for 21 and 22 then?
We would accept an affidavit for 21 at that point, and then
Okay.
a registration for 22.
But it was not occupied in
Right,
2021.
that's correct. Affidavits are exemptions from the requirement to register based on various factors or requests, either it's vacant or under renovation or an immediate family member is occupying it. That would make you exempt from having to register at that time.
Okay.
So we would accept an affidavit as it would qualify for one of those exemptions, and then she could register it as of the date the tenant occupied.
Okay.
Okay, you good? Okay, I'm going to make a motion then to, as long as you provide a affidavit for 2021, I'm going to make a motion to waive the late fee for 2022, and you can register at the end of today's meeting if you'd like to stay around at a cost of $5.
Okay.
Okay?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Nick. Only one. Okay. Meeting's open to the public. I know we have someone online. I'm not sure if, Brandy Cartwright, can you hear us? There's no picture, so I don't know. Councilman, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
We'll let her go on first.
All right. Are you, you have business with the Board of Public Works and Safety?
No, I was here with the Borough.
With who? Oh, okay.
Oh, all right, thank you, We just wanted to make certain. Thank you. Councilman.
Okay, thank you. The 4900 block of Walnut, I have a complainant is reporting people breaking in, trying to break into vehicles. They just like additional police patrols in that area during the night hours.
Sorry, Councilman, what was the address again?
4900 block of Walnut.
Walnut, okay.
Walnut.
Okay. I'll take care of that.
Okay, also they're requesting in that area because of speeding traffic through that block, children's signs, children playing in the area signs.
On which,
The
just one
49
block, or are you talking?
The same block.
Same block, okay.
4900 block of Walnut.
You can take care of that, Johnny. Yeah, okay. Anything further, sir?
Anything further?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I'd like to ask for the status of 1101 Roosevelt for the demolition from Kelly. Yeah, it's been a shell of a house for a long time.
We'll check, if we could set that for status for next week, please. We'll get it on the list and we'll get an update.
Okay, thank you.
1100 Roosevelt, do we have an exact?
1101
1101?
Demo status for next week, 8/4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion per Councilman Torres' request. You got something, Kev?
Yeah, we'll have it.
Okay, never mind.
So 1101 Roosevelt, it did not get knocked down in the last round, so we're going to have it as a new demo, it's going to restart. Okay.
So that, we don't need to do anything with that part? Okay.
No need for any action on 1101 Roosevelt.
Okay.
No action. Scratch that off. Yeah, the kid sign's got Public Works. Or the children to play sign, whatever. That's that children to play, yeah, children to play.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion then, per Councilman Torres' request, to forward 4900 100 Walnut to the police department for extra patrols due to cars being broken into, and forward his request for children and play signs for the same block to Public Works.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone else? Public?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, sir.
I'm a long-term resident of the South Erie Avenue community. My problem sort of stems from the new school, the new high school. I've got no issue with the school itself, but the problems that occurred and that exist from the first from the first construction of the school several years ago until now, the opening of the school. One of my most concerns about is the safety that the safety issue that's being posed with traffic coming down one way on a constant basis now. Now, I live right at the end of South Erie Avenue here, and right here. So unfortunately, through the planning of the new school, there was no contingency for residents, none whatsoever. I mean, I've appeared in front of the board maybe a couple times.
No, because there were contractors that were parking there, right?
Well, no, actually, there were students. That was one issue.
The contractors first.
Well, the contractors,
when the school was being built.
They weren't as big as problem it was than it was for the students at that time that were parking. But, you guys sort of remedied that problem in signage. So what happens is, I live right at maybe 3 blocks from the end of the corner there. And now that school is out, most of the problems are going away. There's a whole list of problems when school is in session that we have to contend with. A lot of that is, and the first point, I'm just going to finish this first point, is the traffic that's going down a one-way street now.
It's one way going south,
It's
right?
one way going south.
Okay.
There's always been, I've been living there maybe 32 years, going on 32 years now. There's always been, from time to time, people may have been lost and go down the street periodically. Now, since the school is up and, prior to the school opening, during the school construction, there was just a host of traffic going down our street, one way. And I'm telling you, when I say a host of traffic going in, I mean, I've stopped people, just because in the summer months, you got kids outside playing, and people are not just going down the street at an easy pace, they're speeding down the street trying to get through the street because they know they're going down the street one way.
They're going south, though, right?
Well, they're going northbound.
Oh, they're going northbound.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's a problem.
Excuse me?
That's a problem.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
And I don't know what type of resolution we can come up with. I was just thinking maybe, I think they put some new one-way signs out, double, on both sides. But I think what we're going to need pretty much is
Like do not enter?
Do not enter, because
At the end of Erie where it butts up to Eaton Street, right?
Exactly. So with them, cutting, Eaton off halfway, people coming off of Calumet Avenue who normally or didn't know that street was, closed now, due to the football field and everything else. Even the alley traffic is crazy with people speeding up and down the alleyways. This past weekend, I think I stopped 3 people. I was out, doing lawn work, and I just stood in the middle of the roadway because it's getting to the point now, I hate to see something happen, but it's just a constant daily issue. I may average about 3 cars a day right now, and doing school, when school's in session, that can go up to maybe 6 or 7 times a day. I personally almost got hit twice. I was working midnights about a year or so ago, and I would come home at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm telling you that traffic, because the way the school's designed in South Erie goes right into the driveway of the school. So you got a line of cars dropping kids off. If you're trying to go to work, if you're trying to leave our block, you got about a 15-minute wait. Same thing at the end of the school day. I mean, you're talking about people who are just stopping and waiting for their kids. I mean, it's crazy.
The alley's two-way, right?
The alley's two-way. So right now, my main concern is the safety issue and possibility was, I mean, thank God nothing has happened so far, besides me almost getting a head on with a lady who she was really apologetic to me. She was flying down the street 40 miles an hour. And I looked at her, I was like, well, thank you at least. But like I said, I think this is an issue that needs to be addressed. I would hate to think or something happen in this condition. I believe the police, when they're doing their surveillance, excuse me, I'm not trying to put anybody off or to the side, but when they're patrolling Calumet Avenue, I've seen them once or twice stop individuals because they're sitting off the side and monitoring traffic on Calumet Avenue. I noticed one time while I was sitting there myself and just sitting in my car just to see what was going to happen. One of the officers, Becker, he was sitting there monitoring the traffic on Calumet, and he actually saw a person and he trailed them down. But this issue, it's an ongoing issue.
How do you think your neighbors would feel if the alley went one way?
Well, because
I'm just asking.
Well, I understand. What that's going to do is hinder the residents one way, because now Eaton is cut off. We're limited on the ways that we can now travel back and forth. That one way, I sort of thought about that, and I'm thinking, well, maybe so. That may be in something we can take in consideration.
Probably have traffic at least the Boys and Girls Club, and probably use that alley to go south, maybe to get.
Well, it's not so much the Boys and Girls Club participant. It's just people who were used or didn't know that Eaton is, now cut. So once they make the turn, they got options. They can either go into school and turn around. They can do a UE right there, and the other options is the alley or the street.
What if we would try and maybe talk with the city engineer and public works and see if initially putting up do not enter signs on the block as well as the alley, just past the parking lot there at the Boys and Girls Club?
Sure.
As try and be the first deterrent, if you will,
right
outside the one-way.
Exactly.
There are one-way signs up, right, or no?
Yeah, there are one-way signs up.
They are up.
Clearly posted.
Okay. I mean, we could start initially maybe with something like that, and you can report back to us once school gets in session to say, hey, man, this isn't working.
It's a whole different.
Yeah.
You couldn't imagine my frustration as a resident when school comes in. Like I said, there was no contingency whatsoever done for the people who actually live and have to deal and a daily occurrence in the street. Because when school starts, I'm telling you, I mean, I could sit here. You'd have to push me out here. I got a laundry list of issues when school starts, from the noise to the traffic to the trash. I pick up about a bag of trash every day because people park in a lot. Kids are waiting for their parents. I've seen people open up their doors. They throw stuff on the trash. My pickup truck is sitting in front of my house. I used to use it as a garbage can and just, dump every day when I go outside. And I pick up trash. I pick up 5 masks. I pick up about at least 3 cups and Cheeto bags. I'm done. This is every day. I take great pride in my community. It's an older community. I take great pride in it. Sort of dilapidated, and that's going to lead me to my second request that I have. But I think that would be a great help if we could possibly put some do not, and at least people, it'd be a deterrent to say, well, there's a one way, but do not enter means, hey, look, I mean it, to a degree.
Right.
And I think that
we
would
can start there and see if that helps us.
That would be great.
And
that would be
come
great.
back and complain to us in a nice way. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Now, my next request is about a sign that was put right in front of my house towards the beginning of the opening of the school year last year. And it's a doable sign. It's just, for me, it's a big old yellow pedestrian sign that they put right in front of the house. And I know that's city's property on this side of the sidewalk and everything. But, I mean, it sticks out in front of my house. The guy who came in, he put it in. I think that sign, I don't know, it's sort of odd the sign got put up. The opening of school last year, there was a fire drill probably within the first, I would say, month of school opening last year. There was a fire drill. And I don't think they were readily prepared for it because, I mean, I came outside of my house and it looked like it was a concert scene going on. I mean, there were kids everywhere. They were sitting on my neighbor's porch. There were about like 15 kids in my yard alone, pretty much all the way up my sidewalk leading up to my house. So when I walked out to get in my car, I couldn't walk down the sidewalk to my car because it was just blocked with students and some administrators from the school. Now, mind you, I was a little peeved to a degree because when I looked out and I came out there, I was like, wow, this is not structured whatsoever. And it could have been, like I said, it was the first one or whatever, what happened. I'm not really sure what happened at the school at that time, but when I went outside, there was kids in the street. I mean, there was no direction given to them. They were everywhere. So I sort of made a little comment to one of the ladies that was standing out like this. Like I said, I was a little heated. It wasn't really negative about it. I made a comment to the extent that I don't see, how this can be possible. I mean, these kids were like, there was no adult supervision. I mean, the fire drill went off, the kids went outside, and they were everywhere, So about a week later, I saw a marking, in front of the house, a yard. Then about a couple of days later, the city truck pulled in backwards, and he put that sign up, and I was like,
What does it say? What's the sign
well,
say?
it's a school crossing sign, which is doable. It's about 200 feet away from the curb. I was just wondering, and I'm just a request. I was just wondering if it possibly could be put on the other side of the street. I mean, you can see that sign all the way from Michigan Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
Coming down my street. It's the first thing you see, but it's right in front of my house, and it's just a request. I was just wondering if they could just possibly put it on the other side of the street, since it is a one-way going southbound. For me and my house and what I presume
Would
to
it be going in front of your neighbor's house?
No. It would be across the street by the Boys and Girls Club side of the street, and not in front of anybody else's house. I wouldn't tell you. I would dare do that. My misfortune to put for somebody else.
Sir, can we just get your name for the record?
Sure. My name is Ed Waters.
Dan?
Ed
Waters.
Yeah. I live at 5842 South Erie.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a request. If not, I can deal with it. I was just a request because, like I said, I turn a corner and boom, there it is, just and it'd be right across the street where the Boys and Girls parking lot, And I was going to ask the gentleman, hey, why not just there instead of here? I'm one of those guys. We go back from the old days, standing on my lawn. I'm that type of person, so a little anal when it comes to. Yeah, we know some of those people, but it's the pride that I take within my property, and my neighbors and my neighbors' concerns also. So,
Mr. Button, you got something to add to?
Yeah, so that was my doing.
oh, okay.
So
I thought it was punishment. I thought it was punishment for me.
No, sir, I apologize.
No.
We should have coordinated that better.
Right.
When school opened up, we had,
Yeah.
for the current school year, we sort of had some issues relative to notification.
Right.
So I went out and made sure that Calumet Avenue, Highland, Eaton, all of those approaches to the school, we sort of designated that you were approaching the school.
Right. Okay, that's understandable.
When Erie came up, I sort of went, I don't know if that, is really as important
Right.
as Calumet Avenue, Highland, Lyons, those other streets. So if I can work with Public Works on that
Sure.
issue, I might be able to make that sign go away
Yeah,
completely.
I mean, like I said, it's a needed sign. It's just when I walk out, look at midnight. You can really see it at night. When I turn that corner, it just looks like if you're going into the airport. So that
was my doing.
No problem.
And I think
I appreciate it.
we can make that work.
I appreciate it.
We can probably make the sign go away.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't as urgent as it was in the other locations.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's not a sign going up Eaton for crossing the street, and when traffic is really, you know what I'm saying? If you're going Eaton that way, okay, thank you. I'm stopping complaining.
You're already
Yeah, in the school zone, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Every other approach would have already been, warm.
Right.
But yours was, I might have even suggested it go there, but
Okay.
it's not as critical as it is on the primary.
Exactly.
roads, So we'll make that go.
Thank you.
You're
And I just got one more question, and I'm gonna stop complaining for the day. I just want some information. Like I said, the school issue it came up decades ago. I'm gonna say at least 20 to 25 years ago. And we as residents were told, hey, look, wait, this and that and that. And 20 years later, 22, 23 years later, the school opens. And so my initial question, I spoke with Barry Tyler. I've texted him a couple times, and he told me these things were going to be on work. We got a real old community, dilapidated streets, sewer systems, sidewalks. I think it's two of the worst blocks within a 10-block area. If you ever walk down the 57 and 5800 block of South Erie Avenue, if you lived there, you would be protesting just like me. I mean, I actually drive through the city of Hammond and take note of various things in various communities. And these two blocks, they're some of the worst, you know. So, Mr. Tyler, I didn't speak with him directly. He texted me a little while back and said there were going to be finally some renovations done to these two blocks. Everything around us have pretty much been touched. Most of the neighborhoods except us. There's a lot of older people. There's a lot of older homes. But what makes it really look, you know, bad is just the conditions of the neighborhood, you know, itself. Like I said, the 5700 block is even worse than mine. We got no curves. We got most of the sidewalks are torn up. Sewage systems are the holes, the craters. They've been, you know, they did a couple patchwork jobs on my block last year. We're around the sewage on the corner, and then the middle block caved in. They came in to fill them up. I just want to know if any, like I was told, is there any plans for renovations? 57.
That's my department.
Oh, get you in trouble, yeah.
So we recently awarded a bid for street lighting. That includes Erie. So that's moving forward.
This one already.
And then I talked to Councilman Tyler about resurfacing that roadway. We're not looking at a full reconstruction, but to put new asphalt down, and we can work on the sidewalks to roof sidewalks.
Well, yeah, see, I'm going to ask you if, when you're not busy, just walk down those two streets.
Yes, sir.
And compare those to any other neighborhoods. I can almost guarantee you right now as we speak, there's not one person sitting in this council chambers right now that lives in a community that as those two blocks are. I bet there's not one person in this council room right now who has to deal with that unsightly look. It just makes the neighborhood looks, wow, just horrid.
I'll take a look at it, sir.
Yeah, and once you walk by, you'll see what I'm saying.
Yep.
5700 block, the sidewalks are so true. I've seen country streets that look better sometimes than, you know, and here we are, a progressive city, you know, and it just seems like we just constantly get neglect, you know. So, I mean, maybe there's be some leadership changes done in our area because our past councilmen haven't really, I've spoken to all of them. I've been living there since 1991, and every 3 council persons have given me whatever, you know, reason or whatever. Like I said, first of all, when I started complaining then, it was because of the school, possibly the school coming up, and just wait. Well, I'm 25 years older now, you know, but like I said, what was your name? I'm sorry.
My name is Dean Button. I'm the city engineer.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Dean. If you can do me a favor, Dean, when you're not busy, just park your car on the 5700 block and just walk down those 2 blocks for me, and then you'll see what I'm saying. So, I mean, if you just want to pave the street, I guess that's what we get. But you see, there's no curbs, there's no sidewalks, it's horrid. And any taxpaying citizen would understand what I'm saying, you know. You go to,
That's fair.
appreciate it. So,
Anything further, Mr. Waters?
that's it, I'm done. I've complained enough. Now I complain to my wife a little bit. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you being here, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you much. Anyone else?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.